go. So I have now put into the files area of our group something all about Amazon URLs. And this is something that myself and the Amazon coaches have been working on. I also saw that a couple of other folks have done something similar with this, but you may not be aware that you can actually hack the Amazon URL really, really easily to make it do things that you may not have really thought about that it's able to do. So I put all the different URLs down here for you so you can see them. So let me just talk you through each of them and show you how to use each of them so you can see it. And again, this document is in the files section of the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs members only Facebook group. So that's where you find this document, all right? And feel free to play along with me as I show you how to use it. So your first one is a standard Amazon URL, and this is a search engine URL. It's search engine friendly, so if I just click onto it. So if we analyze it, so that's where it takes us to, all right? But now let's go analyze it. So we've got here VTech, which is our brand. So you put your brand there. You separate them with a little dash, and then you put your keywords in your title there. And you can have as many keywords as you want can be in there. You can have I'd never pushed the limit, but the most I put in there is 5, and that was no drums at all. I suspect that there will be a limit to the number of keywords, but I've put 5 in there, all right? So if you're looking to get a particular product keyword indexed, then here's how you do that. Here's how you get keywords indexed for your product. Now, if I'm talking gobbledygook to you, let me just backtrack a little bit. So this is a baby walker. That's what that particular product is. That's the main buying keyword for that product, baby walker, all right? So, but you want to make sure that your product is indexed, i.e. Amazon recognizes that this is a baby walker and links your product with the keywords baby walker. All right, that's called indexing your product for the keywords that you're targeting. And if it's not done, then you will not rank on Amazon for the keywords that you're trying to rank for. So the process of getting your product indexed, we use things like this search engine friendly URL to do that, and that's how that's put together. Now how I use that URL, a couple of different ways. You can either use it for sending traffic directly to your Amazon product page. Notice that this goes directly to the product page. So you can do it by sending traffic directly to your product page. Outside traffic is what you would send to that particular URL, and you would make sure that the traffic you are sending is at least warm traffic. Now, what the hell does that mean? Well, there's two kinds of traffic that's available. There's cold traffic, i.e. they've not got a clue who you are, what you're selling, what you're all about. And there's warm traffic, where they at least know who you are and they're probably going to be interested in buying your products. So this is a warm traffic URL. Things potentially like Google AdWords could be sent to this particular URL under certain situations, which we will discuss in a wee while for you, all right? So that's when you would use it. And here's how to put it together. So brand name, keyword 1, keyword 2, keyword 3, keyword 4, etc., etc. And then the ASIN number goes in there. So it should look like that. All right? Hope that makes sense. Yes, it's not retrospective. Cool. So next up, we've got an add to cart URL. Now this is where things, and that's a pretty, most folks recognize that as a kind of pretty basic URL. But let's start talking about more advanced URLs now. So now we can do more advanced stuff. So let me click on this link. This is a add to cart URL. Now notice that this is adding it directly into your cart. It just wants you to confirm now that you want the product. Okay, so it's a very, very different kind of URL, and it's a much different uses of that URL as well. All right, so before I tell you how to use it, let me show you how to do it. So here's the example, and you can see here you've got the ASIN just there. That's your ASIN for your product, plus the number you want to add to cart. So if you're running a promotion where if you buy 2, you get an extra gift, for instance, then you can change the add to cart to as many as you want it to be. Let's just show you exactly how that works. I'll just take this out of there for you. And 10, I'm going to change that to 10. I've just done that on a little separate sheet just so I can show you. Quantity is now 10. So I can change the quantity up in that little area there to as many as I want. All right, so I can make it as many as I want it to be. So when do you use that? Let me just push that back onto there. That's it. So when do you use that? Well, if you're running a promotion on something like Facebook, for instance, and you're wanting to send people directly to, so you've already got them interested and now you're just looking to get them to buy something, that's when you can use that. So for instance, I'm currently using that in my I'm running a Facebook, what's called a messenger campaign, and we're running messenger campaigns and we're getting people to add to cart directly from here rather than going through the process of getting them to go to the page, go to our main page like this one, our product page. We're sending them directly to the cart. All right. So now there's a variation of that, which is buy together. Now here's where things start to get extremely sexy for us. So let's go back. And let's go and look at a few things. Let's suppose, I don't know, let's suppose that you sell, give me something here, Amazon. You sell amino energy, all right? This is your product, amino energy. Now, on Amazon, now I've picked a terrible example because it's not going to do what I want it to do. On Amazon, let's just check back one more. On Amazon, you may have seen something called the frequently purchased together. Frequently purchased together. Just seeing if I can find it for you. Protein supplements, here we go. Hopefully that's going to give it. Here we go. So frequently purchased together. Now that is extremely important. That real estate there is crazily important because Amazon says that this frequently brought together area results in 1 in 5, so 20% of the people who are shown things that are frequently purchased together upselling, so they buy the recommended thing. So if you've got 2 products, I'm going to show you a very, very interesting hack in a second. If you've got 2 products that you're trying to get purchased together, so you're trying to get Amazon to recognize those products frequently get purchased together, to game that system so you can make windfall sales from that, you use this URL to do it. So let me just click on the link. So now you can see I'm going to add 3 things to my cart. All together, I'm adding 3 things to my cart. Now, what that will do is that will tell Amazon that those 3 things are frequently purchased together. And all you need to do is do it often enough, get enough people to buy it, and then Amazon will automatically start suggesting it here, which will increase your sales by 20%. Just doing that will give you a 20% increase in sales. Now, that in and of itself is freaking sexy. However, there is a whole different level that you can go to, all right? Let's suppose, and yes, this works on Amazon in Australia. It works everywhere, okay? Works everywhere. Let's suppose that there is a product that sells incredibly well on Amazon, but it's not your product, all right? Let's suppose this Optimum Nutrition product, which is the Amazon's choice for its particular keyword, that's not your product, but you've got a product that's the perfect thing to buy when somebody buys this. So you also sell, for instance, a pre-workout drink. Now, it could be anything, but we're just using pre-workout drink. You also sell that. Now, what I do in this situation, if you've got a product like this that sells all day long on Amazon, has already had all the SEO done for it, is in a niche that you do not sell the product in, but you want to get them linked together, then you can use this hack to do that. So what you do is you frequently buy together your main product. This is the product, this is the target product you're wanting to get your product bundled together with by Amazon. So you start offering on Facebook or on Google or something like that, this product using the URL I've just shown you together. So you're bundling your product with an already existing bestseller. Now this works best with brand name products. So if you've got, I don't know, like Play-Doh or Ugg boots or something like that, something where people are going to search on Google for the product, then it works really, really well for things like that. And what you can do is you can get your product automatically bundled together with a very high volume, high selling product on Amazon. Now, if you think that through, you'll recognize that if 1 in 5 people buy the upsell, if your product is linked with a very high selling product, you will make oodles of additional sales just by using that one little hack. It's super, super cool. I do that all the time and it works really, really well. Okay, so it is a crazy hack, and what I'm showing you is some pretty freaking advanced stuff. However, you know, if you're up for it, it's awesome stuff to do. All right, so that's the frequently purchased together, and that's how you can hack that to get a massive advantage on Amazon, and also so you can hack it to influence that. All right, if you can influence that, and it works crazily well. 1 in 5 people get this upsell. 1 in 5. Think about that. It's free money for you. It's free money for you. All right, let's continue on our merry path. Before I do, let me just quickly check the question areas. Piggybacking. Yes, Annie, that's exactly what it is. I love the way they buy, then I love the buy together hack using a big brand, then add my product. Yes, good on you, Sue. Okay. Next up, 2-step storefront URL. Now we've seen this, I've shown you this heaps. Let's go click on it. So, Christmas is coming up. Christmas is coming up. All right. Now your product, you want that to rank really well on Amazon for Christmas related gifts, and loads of people search for things like that. Gifts for women, gifts for guys, gifts for young kids, gift for 5-year-old boys, gift for 5-year-old girls, etc., etc. They do it heaps on Amazon this time of year. So if you can get your product to rank for that sort of thing, you'll do very, very well. Okay, so here's how you do that. Now, we're going to use something called a 2-step storefront URL. I've talked about storefront URLs before. and why they're so important, but let me quickly show you how to put that, why they're important. Let's get rid of that, get rid of that. All right, so here's a product, which is this particular thing. This is a gift for women. You see they're trying to rank for that, although that's not particularly the best way of doing it, but still, that's what they're trying to rank for. So typically, to get your storefront URL, what you would do on your own particular store, if you are the only person selling it and you've not got any listing hijackers, then it is sold by this person here. Click on that, the sold by. That takes you to their particular feedback, seller feedback. Isn't that interesting? They gave a 1-star review and put great travel bag. Now, I would be going to Amazon and saying, clearly they've messed up their review with that, but anyway, whatever. So then you go to their storefront here, and now you can see all the products that this particular company sells, so all 13 of their products. And now to get the storefront URL, what I do is I type in the URL I want to rank for, gifts for women, oops. And then that is now, that little URL there is now my storefront, 2-step storefront URL, all right? So that's the way to do it, and that is the URL right there, or you can just put that one in and you can rank it that way. And again, as many keywords as you want, you can put in there, up to 4 I have done. I don't know if there's more, okay? But I suspect you can get as many as you want up to a point. Now, when would you use that? Well, you would use that, again, if you are sending traffic to Amazon, and you definitely should be doing this, then you would use that URL when you're sending colder traffic to Amazon. Colder traffic to Amazon. Why? Well, when you send any traffic to Amazon, if you send it directly to the listing, your product listing like this, Amazon tracks everything that happens on its platform. Now, one of the biggest metrics that they track is conversion rate. Conversion rate. So what that means is the number of people who arrive at your product page and then add it to cart. Add it to cart. Now, that particular metric drives an incredible amount of SEO on Amazon. The better your conversion rate, the better you rank in the search engine results page for your chosen keywords, okay? Because what Amazon is trying to do is maximize revenue. So what they want, if you think about it from their point of view, what they want is the most amount of people to buy a product who come to a product page. That's what they're looking for, to maximize customer revenue for themselves. However, if you send cold traffic, so traffic that's not really ready to buy, to your listing directly, you will completely mess up your conversion rate. It's called your session rate. You'll mess up your session rate, okay? You don't want to do that, particularly if you've had your product up for a little while. You do not want to do that. If it's a brand new product, you've got no SEO juice anyway, it's not such a big deal. But with a more established product, you do not want to screw up your session conversion rate. So to get around that, what you do instead is you send them to a storefront URL. And what that will do is they'll get to see some information about your product. So they can see what the product is, they can read the title, they can see the price, they can see it's got free delivery and it goes via Prime. Now, if somebody sees that and then clicks through, they're much more likely to purchase the product than somebody who sees it and doesn't click through. Now, that's obvious to say, but think about it for a second and you'll understand why. So because they've seen all the information, it's then they click through, it's not going to mess up your session conversion rates. Now, so that's the first part of the puzzle. And here is the URL for that. Here's how to do that. But there's a problem. There's a problem. What if, like this particular thing, you're selling a product where there's two different options for that keyword? So you've got two things in your store ranking for the same keyword, and what you want to do is you want to make sure that gifts for women, that is the only product that shows up in that situation. So you don't want this one to show up right now. You just want this one to show up. How do you do that? Well, if you come down, you can add the ASIN number there. So now if I click on this, I only see that one. Plus I've got my gifts for women. So now I'm just targeting with laser focus the product I want to get ranked. All right, the product I want to get ranked. Now there's a whole another level we could go into, but I don't want to confuse the hell out of you, particularly on a session like this. In my inner circle, we go much, much deeper into that and why that's so important. But for now, what's important for you to know is by having a storefront URL and setting it up, you can make your product rank for specific keywords, and you don't need to screw up your on-page conversion rate to do it. And that's exactly how to do it, okay? All right, let me go and check my little questions, because I know I'm giving you some pretty crazy stuff. All right, Brad, so you basically advertise their product and hand on to a coattails. Brad, that's exactly what you do. Do you need a brand's permission to piggyback? No, you do not need the brand's permission to piggyback. Think about it. Think about it from the brand's perspective. You're going to make them extra sales, mate. What if gift for women does not rank? Well, that's how you make it rank, Hitten. That's how you'll make it rank. So what I've just done is I've just done the things necessary to make that product rank for gifts for women. That's exactly what we've done. So right now, I don't know if it does rank or not, doesn't matter, but by doing that, it will, because it's your storefront URL you're sending to, mate. So it's a way to get your things to rank. Deb says, if there are more than one seller for an ASIN, how does the add to cart URL work? It gets complicated if there's more than one seller for an ASIN number. You have to go through a storefront URL, and it's a little bit more, well, it's a lot more complicated to do it that way, Deb. So that's why you want to be private labeling and going in for your own products from private labeling rather than trying to do that. But the piggyback section, that works no matter who's selling it, okay? Rebecca, about the ASIN in image title, was that only for the hero image? It's all images, Rebecca. All images. Hugh, is it worthwhile trying to be an affiliate? Nope, don't do that. That'll get you in trouble. Can you attach to more than one listing for piggyback listing? Can you attach to more than one listing? Not from the single URL, you can't, no. But you can do multiple URLs to multiple different listings. Kate, will you be sending the resources doc after the QRL? Nope, I will not. There is no resources doc. I'll put it, it's all there for you. You're welcome. Annie said rat bags. Not quite sure why. But hello, Annie. How are you? Re-URL. What do I do about space in the brand name? You put your own brand name. Yes, this is all for Amazon Oz. Hugh, yes, I agree. NutriBullet, that's a good idea. Okay, so that's that one. All right, so now let's move on and go to our two-step via brand. So something I've spoke about, man, oh man, oh man, how long have I been harping on about this for? Ages, at least 6 months. I've been telling you that building a brand on Amazon is massively, massively important. Mostly because Amazon is favoring brands in the search results, okay? They are favoring brands in the search results page. So it's important for you to build a brand, if nothing else, just because you'll get extra sales as a result of that. Now, if you've only got one product, The question is, should you be building a brand if you've only got one product? The answer is yes, because you won't just have one product forever. Sooner or later, you're going to have your second product, your third product, etc., etc. So you should be definitely building a brand on Amazon. So this is a two-step URL, including getting your brand to start ranking. So let's just open this one. So here's a, oops, better alter that because that doesn't look right. Here's a two-step URL with a brand built into it. So well-to-be brand is then built into it, okay? I need to alter that. I just need to edit that. So I just spotted a little typo. I want to just deal with it right now so that nobody gets confused. And dunk. There we go. All right, so where was I? Your brands. Come back here. Super URL, thank you. Here we go. So that's how you incorporate your brand into a two-step URL. Now, if I click onto that, so you can see that I've got my spiral vegetable slicer. That's the keyword I'm trying to rank for. If I click it now, and let's go look at the URL that comes up. And again, I'm going to try my best not to make this too complicated for you. If you can see that my keywords I'm ranking for is spiral vegetable slicer. So that's the keywords I'm going to be ranking for, okay? That's what I'm trying to do. But I'm also going to get link juice for my brand, which Amazon likes, okay? So that's the URL breakdown for that. And now let's go another step. Let's go another step. So I'm going to click on the link again. Now notice this time I'm trying to rank for spiral vegetable slicer, but nothing shows up. Nothing shows up. Okay? That's because I've now sorted the data, the search data, by sales price. So I've got a low of 7 and a high of 9. So if I've got multiple spiral vegetable slicers that I sell in my store, and they're all at different price points, and I want to isolate a single vegetable slicer to target, the way I do it is with the URL by going on the price. So I can see here I've got a low of 7 and a high of 9. Let's just take that URL and I'm going to alter it here for you. So it didn't show. Same URL. Notice the low of 7, high of 9. If I now change that to 59, now the product shows because the product is $39.95, okay? So if I'm selling multiple products in my store that are spiral vegetable slicers and I want to just isolate one product, that's another way I can do it, okay? So here's the URL there. Here's how that's put together. That's how that's put together. So I know there is a crazy amount of kind of some techie stuff in there as well. And for most people, here's the deal. For most folks who are just at the beginning of your journey, this is going to be the URL that's going to be the most important for you. Okay, that's going to be your most important URL. If you are in my inner circle, then these URLs, so 2, 3, 4, and 5, are going to be the URLs that we refer to a lot in my inner circle to do some crazy hacking things, all right? So that's, I hope that at least gives you a little bit of context around the way that you will use them and how you will use them. Now, what I also want to do tonight is I want to show you one of those URLs being used, but I also want to show it you being used to set up Google AdWords. So before I do that, let me see if there's any questions about the URLs. Oh, your cat is on your lap. No problems at all, Annie, that's fine, love. Arthur, silly question. Where does your ASIN number come from? So your ASIN number That's the number that Amazon gives you when you list your product. So that's where it is. ASIN number is right there. And your additional information, so Amazon assigns that information to you when you list your product. ASIN, Amazon Standard Identifier Number. Amazon Standard Identifier Number. Hope that helps. Arthur. How can I search my brand name if my brand name is already taken? If somebody's already got your brand name, then you should definitely change your brand name and create your own brand name. Otherwise, that's going to be crazy, crazy bad news for you later on. All right. Hope that helps. Emma, can you explain when to use the first URL? Yep. So this first URL here, let's suppose that you've got somebody, here's an easy example, that you've got a friend that wants to buy your product. Now, they're not going to leave you a review because they're your friend of yours, but they just want to buy your product because it's Christmas and they want to buy that product and they figure they may as well buy your product. Well, when that happens, that's the URL to give them. That's the URL to give them, okay? When we get people to do reviews for us, on Amazon, and we're gaming the review system, then generally speaking, we give them a two-step storefront URL. Okay, that's generally speaking what we do. But oftentimes that will do equally the same thing too, just to send them directly to your page. That's a good thing to do too. Now, there is times, and I'm being very careful not to go over the top with the level of techie stuff I give you, all right? Because I tend to get my geek on really easily. There are times when it is absolutely the right thing to do to give that URL for traffic sources like Facebook and Google and things like that. So that's what I want to cover next for you, the times when you would use that, all right? Okay, how are we going for time? We're going good. So, any questions about that, or shall we move on and start talking about Google AdWords? Brad, should we change the URL to a bit.ly code on our Facebook email? You can do if you want to. Certainly, I use it on my Facebook ads as a bit.ly link. And if you look at bit.ly itself, so what Brad has asked, let's just go back. What Brad has asked is, should you shorten your URLs before giving them to people? Okay, well, here's what happens when you put an Amazon link into bit.ly. It goes Amazon, it shortens the link like that. So it already says Amazon on it, all right? Now, bit.ly just does that anyway, so you can definitely do that. And it's a much prettier link than that crazy freaking long thing just there, all right? However, there is a good argument to be said as well. So I use bit.ly links in my Facebook ads because I've got a finite amount of characters I can use in my ads. And so a bit.ly link is a good idea because you've only got a finite amount of characters. So that's when I use it in that situation, Brad. However, if I'm sending somebody a link and I don't know them, I always send them the full URL because I want them to see that, yes, I'm actually sending them to Amazon. I'm not going to send them to some phishing website where they're going to get their information stolen. I want them to see that it's okay to click the link. So you've got to kind of figure it out a little bit for that. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really, really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing? If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales I've used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on, a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.